nothing to learn. I'm gonna get these buttons to work. Cause I always be grinding on it. I have a tendency to turn the sound off. It's too safe. But alas, we have decided. I don't think there's here. But yeah, I think we're still left off on this one. We have skipped the main quest last time we played, so a brain, no brain. Maybe we did finish this one. There's a hidden story. Let's do it. Dot. Alpha. And Omega. Sorry. Anyway. Alpha? Right, that's what they call you now. It feels great, doesn't it? You're the real deal after all. It's only right that you take the name Alpha. Yes, there is no need to share a name with the replica. The voices of her companions reach her ears. Lucia looks up at the empty and still rather unfamiliar city in front of her. Another mirror. Because I've chosen another path, I should cut off all ties with my past. That settles it, Miss Alpha. I'm sick of NC's dusty. Why am I looking back on the past at a time like this? Alpha looks up, taking in the vast yet empty subterranean city. She does not feel a sense of belonging to the city at all, but as someone who has been moving in and out of the city for a long time, she feels a sense of familiarity. A rusty bridge extends out into the distance, other and enveloped by the fog. Even though she cannot see it, Alpha still knows where the bridge leads. She casts away her original name here, in order to break with the past. Luna only gives her a silent nod regarding it when she returned. Luna. She repeats that name silently to herself and takes in the devastation in the distance. Where are you? Why does she ask your Paulo buddy old friend? Luna remembers Luna was kind of like tied up and then eaten by one of the monsters Gabrielle was experimenting to create so that they have some extra people a part of the Ascension Network. So there we go. It happened on the last day. Once the Grey Ravens begin their descent into the Polyphag Abyss, Roland shares the truth with her. And then, Gabrielle steps out of the dark corner, still acting as courteous as ever, but he can hardly conceal the deranged sense of menace he is giving off. Well, he's all yours. As Roland passes Alpha with a nonchalant smile, he leans over and lowers his voice. I'm going to deal with Gabrielle's backup. Only then will Luna be able to leave the core. With a quick stroke of his chain blade, he leaps into the darkness by the core. By the time Gabrielle moves to stop Roland, Alpha has already lunged forward with her blade out. You betrayed Luna. Me? No, Miss Luna is the one who betrayed us. And you are the reason for her betrayal. You're why she was forsaken by the Ascension Network, where she has lost the power of an agent. Luna has never betrayed any one of us. Alpha's blade slices across Gabrielle's chest, sending sparks flying everywhere. Gabriel rips off his tattered cloak, revealing his colossal mechanical structure. You really are the biggest threat to the Ascension Network. Are you not going to save your dear sister now that the Polyphag has devoured her? I know what you're conspiring, Gabrielle. You might as well have it written on your face. If I let you go now, you'll just become a larger threat to Luna. I can only hope that those Grey Ravens will last long enough for me to get to her. I can't understand why you choose to believe in those inadequate constructs. They've most likely become food for the Polyphag. No, this time I'm choosing to believe in myself. And, Gabrielle, what I'm going to do now is destroy you. I will not forgive anyone who hurts Luna. Alpha raises her katana, her eyes burning with fury. Alpha closes in, attempting to expose a weak spot on Gabrielle with a series of continuous strikes. Honestly speaking, his metal, like just his hunk of metal, does not look like one simple strike could, I don't know, break it or something. But Gabrielle is forced back, barely managing to counter her every move with his cane. Also, I wish they kind of showed the cane because I'm kind of interested. Is it like a CL Phantom Hive kind of cane, or is it like a Walmart $5 cane? Although he is unaware that she was seriously injured in her MIND, Gabriel still notices that her strikes are weaker than before. Seeing a rare opening gives it everything he has got, abandoning defense for a fit. Every time I speak for a long period of time, so I just start yawning. Perfect. Once one of the combatants gives up on defense, the battle will soon be over. Gabriel has staked everything on this battle in order to achieve the lofty goal given to him by the Ascension Network. However, as the battle goes on, Allah's MIND also gradually starts to stabilize. No point dragging this out any longer. Take this! Your body will provide sustenance for the polyphage. Sensing that something is amiss, Gabriel immediately leaps high into the air, delivers an armor-pulverizing blow in Alpha's direction. Okay, I need to turn up my volume. But when the dust settles, the only person on the cracked ground is Gabriel. He's completely unable to hit the fleet-footed Alpha. His immense strength, of which he has been so proud of, is useless if he cannot land a hit. Alpha! Gabriel's attack has left him completely open to Alpha's space terrain, daring strike. And with that, the battle is concluded. I cannot fault Miss Luna for relying on you. Gabriel crawls among the ruins, dragging his broken body. His legs and wings have all become nothing but scrap metal. Alpha steps over his broken limbs and walks over to his side, raising her katana. Clang. Clang. Sorry, I thought that's a monotone. Her katana bounces violently against an unseen wall. Alpha. An irreverent call comes from behind her, and with it, walls start to appear around them, getting thicker and thicker. Alpha pivots, turning around and slicing with her katana, but she's not able to cut through them. Oh, I should have probably put some flashing warnings. I didn't expect. It's always when I least expect it to be flashing, because it hasn't been like flashing really like that. But there's flashing. Forgive me. You've become weak, probably because of that agent, because of Luna. You are my fire. Anyway, call me Von Gift. I'm an agent. I still don't know how to pronounce his name, so the pronunciation is probably going to change like 7 different times. So you are Von Gift. Alpha sheathed katana, calmly appraising the black figure before her. Looks like you've heard of me. Of course, if it wasn't for your ascendant underling, that incident wouldn't have happened. I only had him bring about what the humans had been hoping for all along. That Commandant Pravich. I believe he wasn't the first to hold those beliefs and won't be the last to die for them. I believe you've seen quite a lot of this. I don't pity that scoundrel, but the incident caused the deaths of others, not just his. It's all for Asenath and the filtering, Alpha. It's not my intention to kill humans or constructs. I'm simply running an experiment to increase the efficiency of the filtering process. Back then in Babylonia, you were furious that your comrades had to be sacrificed, but now that you've become an ascendant, are you really planning to oppose the filtering? That's what I thought. Why are you here? For the glad tidings, of course. The punishing virus has exhibited the ability to become organic, and these new life forms are truly the peak of perfection. This planet is undergoing a rebirth, and as its agent, I, of course, would like to bear witness to it. I said the. You're the one who hatched the polyphage of the Red Tide, aren't you? You saved the reborn punishing virus and opened up new possibilities to Asenath. Good job. You approve of this? Of course. This is the step in the evolution of Asenath. Bunky's eyes are riveted on the gushing red tide below with appreciation. Unfortunately, I came a little too late and Luna's destroyed the polyphage. The Babylonians have also arrived and will soon clear out this area. As much as I'd love to prevent the catastrophe, Longsway unable to make a move on Babylonia, the thorn in our side, wiping out individual Babylonians, won't make a difference. He shifts his gaze from the red tide to Gabriel. He lies behind him, struggling to crawl out from under the boulder, his hands reaching out. Don't worry, as long as the breeder's knowledge remains, there's still hope. He closes his hands and the boulder, pressing down on Gabriel, is blown to smithereens. Uncute. Alpha, I'll undo the force field between you. But I have something to tell you before that. Luna's been rescued by the... not by... from the Polyphage and is highly likely to have been taken by the Babylonians. You know what this means, don't you? Can you bear the thought of having her to go through what you went through? He smiles, and with a snap of his finger, the force field in Alpha's way dissipated. She tightens her grip on her weapon, glaring at the person standing between her and Gabriel's broken body. But ultimately, she chooses to hurry toward the abyss, where the Polyphage was. Get up, breeder. I know you're loyal to Asenath. You yearn for greater power to augment your body. I'll bestow upon you new life and a power that is befitting of the name Gabriel. In exchange, we shall never know. Ignoring the two of them, Alpha hurriedly rushes toward the Polyphage. While all that remains there is the Babylonian reinforcement. Whether to battle them or continue searching, she still cannot find Luna. But the humans got in there. A feeling of unease spreads through Alpha, but it is precisely because of this that she has to search for Luna. Because she is family. Her only family. Woo woo. Okay. Interesting. So this is like after stories. Alpha stands on the barren scorched earth, taking in the chaos around her. Since that incident, she has been running around subterranean city number 75. She has left no stone unturned in her search, going through the hidden corners and paths, to the ruins that only they knew about, and has even checked on the constructs that were swarming the area. But she does not find even the slightest trace of Luna. There's only one possible conclusion. Luna is not here. With the answer staring her right in the face, Alpha ponders where she should go next. Where are you? As she turns the question over in her head, countless memories of Luna surfaces. The clearest memory is of the moment when she leapt through the darkness, her hand outstretched. There was a girl standing atop the white snow. The series of campaigns was called the Project Winter. It seems that the task of naming it was dumped on the executor. But if the executors can come up with such methods, I should say they really do deserve naming rights. Rowan? Noise and memories were jumbled together, flashing through her mind. No, this is just noise. As Luna disappeared, these muffled voices have been ceaselessly haunting Claire. She looks at the wide expanse of yellow sand before her, and her thoughts return to the past yet again. The press, Ernie! You're saying that when you became an agent, you heard a great deal of noise. That's right. What is it? Think of it as a catalyst. When I first became an agent, I didn't understand its true nature and thought the voices were telling the truth. Luna stopped hovering and landed between the ruins. So this originates from Asenath? No, but I can't say for sure. There are symptoms that emerges when the MIND has been damaged. First, this is just a simplified analogy. It's actually more complicated than that. There have also been many constructs recently who opt to simulate an injury like this to temporarily augment the power. Perhaps when you become an agent, you'll be able to fully comprehend it. That's no joking matter. You know I don't want to become an agent. Oh? Perhaps I wanted to confirm that for myself. Then let me be frank with you. I have no interest. You're already burdened by the heavy responsibility of Asenath. If I become an agent too, we'll also be there to help you. Thanks, sister. But you said that only by becoming an agent will I be able to comprehend that. Asenath imparts some knowledge that only it possesses, including lost historical records. I started to get jumbled. Woo! And that happened when one became an agent. That's right. The memory starts to flicker. There are things that one would still know without Asenath's knowledge. They got a break dance. Such as how the humans of this planet are a disease more terrifying than a punishing virus. How do you think like that? The noise rings instantly in her mind like an alarm clock going off in the wee hours of the morning. Because of that incident that caused you to leave Babylonia, or because of Luna becoming an agent? No, these incidents were just a starting point. The starting point? The noise, guys, as if expressing regret. Probably is. That's enough, Gabriel. Even if you slaughter all these humans and constructs, there is no one among them that can pass the filtering. But they'll become a threat. As long as the source remains, they won't give up, no matter how many of them you kill. All we have to do is find the seeds and guard this place. Understood. Gabriel bows respectively and vanishes into the horizon. Something you wanted to comment on, sister? Alpha has not opened her mouth, but Luna smiles as if she knows what she is about to say. Do you remember the fairy tale you used to tell me? I told you many fairy tales. Which one are you talking about? The Evil King and the Elixir of Life. I still believe what I did then, that it's the only way forward, sister. Drinking the Evil King's elixir may kill you, but this is the path of evolution and selection. With this, one can safeguard life from complete annihilation. Of course, that person will become a monster, just like the Evil King, but so what? Monster is but a term defined by human standards. If seeing the filtering through means I'll be called a monster, I treat it as my crowning glory. But you want others to survive? Of course. Even if humanity sees me as a criminal, criminals have targets. Not only is this wish mine, but it's also the very purpose behind Asenet's filtering process. That's why I have to complete Asenet's mission. The humans who are still flesh and blood, with their deep-seated prejudice, aren't able to even pass the preliminary filtering process by the punishing virus. Luna turns around and gazes at the fiery red clouds in the distance. For a long time, she gently shuts her eyes. Perhaps because I hold the same beliefs as Asenet that I was choosing to become an agent. Even as an agent, Luna does not think highly of humanity, but originally her intention to move the filtering forward was simply to let those deserving to live continue living. Even though she had her own reasons for doing it, it was not born out of hatred and chaos. At least in the beginning, that was how it was. Wow, are you right? Relax. Fate has too much in store for me to let me die so quickly. Someone like you to be talking about fate. What exactly happened? Someone taught me a lesson. This time it was a construct who brought a gift. They hid it really well. I have to give them that. The humans are also constantly changing up their tactics. They had their comrade blow himself up. That's right. And he didn't know what he had on him. Otherwise, I'd have been able to sense that something wasn't right. He survived the encounter. What about him? Yeah, does the door know? I only survived because I was far away. Why'd they do that? That guy was who Roland was working on recruiting, wasn't he? It wasn't easy getting him on board. Even after sustaining such huge losses last time, the humans still haven't given up on trying to get a glimpse of the secrets of the Ascension Network. What are they really after? Perhaps they wish to make the constructs immune to the punishing virus and instead have their body's augmented by it. Just like the Ascendant? Or maybe they simply want to be able to control the Ascendant, or even an agent. There is so much they can gain from it. They are the puppet masters, having their underlings kill one another while they reap the benefits. That's their modus operandi. Ooh, I know I'm gonna be getting... That's not how you say that! I'm sorry, I am not the smartest. Although I still don't know what exactly they want, or how close they are to their goal, things seem to be going according to plan, aren't they? It's precisely because of this that we have to keep moving the filtering process forward. However, they have been obstructing our progress. People die without us knowing how. How can we even hope to offer up anyone for filtering? Miss Luna wants us to keep increasing our numbers to deal with the losses. Appropriate seeds must be found as soon as possible. For those who aren't yet aware or don't have the necessary conditions to pass the filtering, we'll have to create those conditions. If we can get ultimate power that is impervious to those despicable ploys, there won't be any more humans standing in the way of the network's mission. Yeah, call me when you find that sort of power. Just things have become a normal part of their daily lives. The humans' offenses last too long, just like the winds blowing through the abyss, and just as relentless. In comparison, being betrayed and abandoned back then was but the first step into the abyss. The hatred that inundated them was born from being hunted down and rounded up, even more so from unexpected traps and conspiracies. Each drop of hate pulling together until it formed a river that flowed into the bottom of the abyss. At first, it was just the usual ambushes and raids. But soon, there was a chance of gifts being hidden close to the seeds. They approached. In this battle of wits, every attempt to throw the humans off their trail unintentionally provides them with ideas for improvement. As a result, their methods have become more subtle and nastier with each iteration. But for the Ascendants and those on the singular path, the memories hidden within their mind are filled with this torment. These experiences are like layers of wounds inflicted on top of one another. Single out any one of them is simply a scar that poses no threat. I am getting all tongue-tied. Mark not forgotten with time. But now they have been accumulating for a long time, potentially waiting for the moment that will soon arrive. The straw that breaks the camel's back. Okay. And now we're in snow. Looks like this is the place. In a bid to save the new recruits who have just passed the filtering, everyone steps onto the ice-covered plains. Fresh bloodstains, the snowy white plains red. Researchers lay fallen all around, and the transport vehicle was torn apart in the attack. Oh, it looks like we were too late. Roland climbs onto the torn compartment and sees the comrade lying in a huge restraining device. Going by the traces left at the scene, he was killed by the restraining device just as he finally broke free. How have the humans been able to come up with such a terrifying device? This is due to what he's capable of. I was interested in seeing how he would develop over time. Given the current environment, he didn't even get a chance. A brief silence falls over the group. Finally, a hulking figure lands beside them. Is it Gabrielle? Yep.
It's Luna.
You've returned. How was the investigation?
The device was brought over from the Arctic Route Union. A new military post has been set up to the east, very well hidden, and there are similar devices within. There are also a few researcher stations there. A military outpost to the east. I previously carried out reconnaissance when Alpha came from the Norwell, but I didn't see any military posts then. Besides, the people outside are ordinary folk, so why would they suddenly possess such a device? Either they had been deliberately hiding something, or someone has shared the devices and technology with them. But there's a greater likelihood that it was a combination of the two. The local residents may not be aware of this, but there is a secret hidden beneath the snowfield. It's because they are inherently capable that they've received visitors who want to share their technology and devices with them. In other words, the Arctic Route Union is working with that group from before. That's right. Don't these people fish for a living? What's there to gain from working with them? I changed the voice slightly. A large number of corrupted emerged from the sea some time back, and the forest guard lacked the power to hold them back. As a result, they sustained some losses. I'd hazard a guess and say they agreed to work together in exchange for materials. There aren't many large human bases on Earth these days, and even fewer are willing to take part in a plan against the Ascendants. They must be hiding something we don't know about. They wouldn't take such a huge risk otherwise, no matter how generous the reward. The military post seems to be merely a symbol of the cooperation. There must be another hidden facility. We should investigate that facility. Otherwise, even if we destroy the military post, another more hidden post will only be built in its place. Could it be that simple? What do you mean, Luna? I can only guess based on the Grey Ravens. No, based on my sister's investigation on that incident with Ravage, that they may have started collaborating well before sending of the military post. The incident of that military post were merely newly run tests. The foundations were already in place. That's right. The harsh environment plays a huge part in all of this. There's nothing but fish and a handful of local products. They've always faced a shortage of materials. If they're really jointly doing research, what should we do? Annihilate everyone here, of course, and nip the problem in the bud. There is no need to go that far. The vast majority are just fishermen, and are working with Kudono in exchange for the materials they need to survive. All we have to do is destroy the research facility. Forgive me for saying this, but it was because they joined forces that we lost many good candidates. Those who could pass the filtering are few and far between. If these people are not completely annihilated, they will still pose a threat. I don't think, imagine someone who does knitting, I don't think they'll become a huge threat unless they like a Gachi Yakuta character, they just kind of be like, I'm gonna change this into a weapon and just blow a crater through the ground. I think you're looking a little too far into it.
Alpha closed her eyes and thought of the humanoid hybrid construct she has met on this vast snow field, who had gone through experiences similar to hers. She thought of how they carried themselves in the face of humans, fear and prejudice, and I see great potential in the forest guards. With enough opportunities, there will definitely be some among them who could pass the filtering. Sister's right. You will continue with the previous mission. Everyone salutes Luna and hurriedly disperse, leaving only Alpha and Luna on the silent snowfield. Sister. She turns around and gives Alpha a knowing smile. I know what you want to say. Luna hovers beside Alpha, looking at the snow and messy scene close by. Not saying anything more about it. Sister, did you meet Lucia? Understood. What do you think about her? Nothing in particular. She hasn't lost hope. That commandant looks pretty special too. We'll let her continue dreaming for a bit, at least until the day comes. Alright then. The howling frigid wind sends Luna's flaring locks flying behind her. Not one lock in sight, but okay, and her petite figure sways in the wind. Alpha closes the gap and takes Luna's arm. Like, not one lock in sight. We found the military post. Next up is the task for finding the other hidden facility. Leave this to me, will ya? Aye, aye, Captain. While investigating clues near the military post, she has a surprising encounter in the snow. Lucia, you're still alive! Is this the Lucia you're looking for, or... Wait, no! That's concentration of the punishing virus. Is she become corrupted? Merle! Jin! The corrupted spoke. It spoketh. It's a long story. Don't get too close to me, or you'll be infected too. She is secretly suppressing the punishing virus within her body, warning them, trying to speak to prevent the virus from spreading to the two of them. Why are you here? They said there was something strange with the corrupted number here and sent us to find out what the problem was and return after obtaining clues. Lucia, you want to return to Babylonia with us? No. Yeah, I knew she was gonna say no. I have no place there anymore. There was no news for a long time after you said you wanted to be recalled. I thought you were already... There were some technical issues, I heard. Miller scratches his head, slightly embarrassed, but unable to hide the mirth in his voice. There had been a lot of casualties recently. Getting very hard to create custom frames, and there are version issues as well. The higher-ups said that they'd had to activate us at all costs so to investigate what happened then. However, they haven't been able to solve version issues. With the lack of manpower, they had no choice but to sign some contract with the humans on Earth and rope them in to help. Contract? You mean to say there are people here who are able to support the research on Babylonia? Hearing what could be a clue, Alpha tightens her grip on her weapon and her voice takes on a serious tone. I don't know much about the research technology, but I did wake up in the military post over there. Agreeing on the contract and awakening us. Those are things we've heard from the researchers inside. They also had us stay temporarily in the military post for tests. Work with them on some simple missions. Earl and Xing don't know much about this either. Looking at the good-natured smile that Merle always has on, Alpha releases the grip on the hilt of her katana. It's great that we're able to wake up again, but we still don't have any clues about what the boss wanted us to investigate. Yeah, we were attacked during recalling and the data transfer was incomplete. I fully remember what happened during the incident. Do you remember what happened back then? If you can't go back to Babylonia, at least tell us what really happened then. Alright. I have a feeling they're gonna go back and they'll just be like, suffer! Everything is going to smithereens. She suppresses the joy in her heart as she shares the buried pieces of her memory with her long-lost comrades. Precious, I thought they were gone too. I think that something like this actually happened. You also made a copy of Lucia before I left. You might see her if you go back to Babylonia.